Okay, we're rolling. Okay, do you want to start?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, it's been a while, I've not done a video in a while. Hi everyone, my name is Sam and I'm a medical student. Today I'm here with my friend.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm another medical student. I study with Sam.
And today we're just going to do a video about interviews because right now is interview season. So yeah, how to get through medical school interviews and how we managed to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. So
yeah,
don't feel like it's not a thing that you can get through. Definitely can do it. We've done it, so I'm sure you guys can as well.
Yeah, so in this video we're just going to talk about our experiences from interviews and just give you, I guess, tips that we think will help you succeed in the interviews. Okay, me and Will are just going to give you 7 points. We're going to give you 7 points, right, that we think can help you do well at interviews. Since Will is my guest on this channel, I'm going to let him start first.
The first point that we think is really important is to be prepared before you go to your interviews.
Yeah.
That's an extremely important thing to do because if you don't prepare for those interviews, then yeah, it's just not gonna go very well.
Just not going to your interviews, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes without saying, like, if you don't prepare for your interviews, I don't know how you're planning to get in to med school or anything. It's just so important. You have to practice a lot, practice with people.
Yeah.
Practice your interview technique. Something I found hard doing was speaking about myself to other people and trying to make myself seem good to other people. That's quite hard, so you need to just practice doing stuff like that.
A lot of the interview process is about trying to sell yourself. As weird as it might be, because I think before the interview I personally never had to try and sell myself except when I was writing my personal statement, but in person you just need to get comfortable with it, talk as much as you can, try and speak very clearly, and just try and sell yourself, as weird as it sounds, but you need to just try and do that.
I think part of preparation, just doing all the reading that needs to be done. So read about your university that you want to go to, and read about the course, read about how they do certain things. I know we go to Manchester, so it's very PBL based, so you need to know about PBL.
Another good thing to do is try and identify like your strengths and your weaknesses. So like Sam just said, one of his weaknesses was trying to speak about himself, but it's also a really good idea to find out what you're good at, so that you can kind of use that to your advantage as well. So if you know you're good at speaking, and just try and show that you're not worried about that, and they'll pick that up definitely during the interview, and it's just another point that you can get.
Yeah. In terms of resources, Will has his book.
Yeah, there's this book called Medical School Interviews that I used when I was practicing. That's just a really good book because it has just different questions that you could be asked, like just extremely common ones that always come up, and it doesn't tell you a right and a wrong answer of how to answer them, but it just gives you advice on what to say. One of the advices was you should really definitely look up the course you're going into, and if they ask you if you have any other questions, just be prepared to say that you've read quite a lot online about what you're going into, so it doesn't look like you haven't prepared. Yeah.
I mean, personally, I didn't use that book. I just practiced a lot. I think if I read that book, it would have been useful. I don't know why I didn't read it or. But yeah, so I'll put a link in the description for that book. Another good thing to do is to keep up to date with medical news and just medical science related news for interviews, because they could really help you in interviews. They could show how wide your knowledge is on healthcare.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they're always going to do. They just want to see that all the students are keeping up to date with what's going on. Just very basic stuff that comes on the news, stuff that's online. For example, there was this, all these new IV techniques that are coming out. That's a really good idea for you guys to just make sure that you know about them. Just generally what's going on with the NHS. The whole junior doctor strikes that's been happening. They're probably going to ask you about that and what your views are on that, and it's just a good idea to have your own opinion and just be well read about these different things.
I remember reading about the junior doctor strike. That was So when we did our interviews 3 years ago or 2 years ago,
a while ago. Yeah.
Then we did it. That's when the junior doctors were like really going out on strike, and it was really I don't know. I guess it was really bad then. And yeah, so I remember just reading a lot about that issue, expecting to be asked a question on that. I think I did get asked a question on that in Manchester actually. So yeah, definitely read up on that. In terms of resources, what I use to help me keep up to date is a website called Medical News Today. That Medical News Today is a website where they just literally put up different medical news, healthcare news, science-related news, stuff that is just like, it could be groundbreaking stuff in science, it could just be about the junior doctor strike, and you can subscribe to the newsletter and they just send you emails, so you don't have to like search for articles or anything like that. So I mean, you can go and read about on the BBC website and stuff like that, but the Medical News Today is just like, it just has it all in one space.
Yeah, I wish I knew about that, to be honest. I would have liked to be able. I just did it the organic way, just go online and go on the news. But like, that sounds like a really useful kind of thing, resource to have. Getting these emails sent to you on a regular basis, just to keep you up to date with everything, and hopefully that should cover everything that they might want to ask you. I guess so. Next point.
What's really biggest?
The next point that I thought was really important was to try and be confident. I think this one's really important because obviously it's a quite stressful day for all the students coming in, and it's something that's been building up for such a long time, and it's really easy for it to shake you. But I think it's really important just to make sure that they gave you the interview for a reason. You're someone that they believe can come in and study medicine, so you just need to show that. Try and be as confident as you can. Try and relax. Just let it all come out naturally. Make sure you're not too quiet. And just be confident. Just believe that you can do this, and it's definitely possible. Thousands of students get accepted to medicine every single year, and there's no reason why you can't. So just believe that you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I talked about imposter syndrome in one of my previous videos. I'll link that up here somewhere. But
I don't know. It might be that side.
So imposter syndrome, if you don't know what that is just believing that you don't belong in a certain place, and I definitely felt that sort of lack of confidence going into my interview, and especially my Cremiers interview. You don't want that to come back and bite you in the ass, basically. Obviously it's a stressful situation, and we both appreciate that it's a stressful situation, but
it definitely is.
You definitely deserve your interview. Do try to do your best and be confident, just speak calmly. People know that it's a stressful situation, so they expect you to make mistakes and stuff like that. So just try your best to be confident.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing that helps a lot with that is practicing. So
yeah.
If you practice a lot, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to just be confident because you've done it before. And if you, again, let's just follow all the tips that we say in the video, and all, if you look online and find other tips, and you just kind of prepare well, that helps a lot with being confident. So
yeah,
if you do that.
Yeah, so it just links back to our first point.
Exactly,
to prepare, and that would just help with confidence. If you don't know what you're talking about, then
it comes across.
Yeah,
they can tell.
They can just tell, sure. If you know, if you don't know,
Yeah, but that still doesn't mean that you shouldn't be confident in something that you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't want to, make it seem that you don't know what you're talking about, and it come across that way, because they'll tell straight away. They'll be like, this person has no idea what they're saying, and so just try and say it confidently. I mean, don't lie, but just if you don't know something, you could easily try and work your way around it if you can. Yeah. You also want to try and answer the question. Don't try and avoid it, but yeah.
Fourth thing I think that's really important is being able to move on, which I'm going to explain. So if you go to an MMI interview, for example, you have different stations, and if a station, for example, doesn't go well, then it's very easy to have your mind stuck in that station, and just don't want it to affect you in the next station, because it's like you just want to be able to move on, let's straight away forget about that station and go to the next station and just start afresh, because they don't carry on marks from there.
That's also kind of related to the confidence one. So if in your mind you know the station you just in didn't go exactly how you wanted it to go, you just need to not let it shake your confidence, and you just go into the next one with a fresh kind of mind. Just say, okay, whatever, that one was bad, but the next one I'm gonna go into is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
And that's all you should be focusing on, is the next one, and that hopefully will just set you up to do the best in every single station. Because if you let one affect you and it carries on, then all of a sudden you've done 3 and they've all been bad, and that's not what you want at all.
This definitely affected me, not in my MMI station, funny enough, not in my MMI interview, in my panel interview at Queen Mary's. I did a video about it, which I'll also link in the description somewhere. But
down there.
Down there, okay. I remember having a question at the start that really I don't know, shook me. So I guess I wasn't prepared enough, which goes back to our first point, being prepared. So I wasn't prepared enough for that question, and I wasn't able to answer it well. And because of that, I wasn't able to move on properly from that question. And when they asked me other questions, I was just kind of like stammering and shaky, and I wasn't able to move on. It just affected the rest of my interview, and so overall, it looked like I had not prepared. I was just a poor candidate.
Yeah, and we still do this because we have OSCEs as our examinations. This is something we just have to get used to.
Yeah.
Is if something goes wrong in one station, you literally just have to move on.
Forget it.
Just forget it. Move on. It's fine, and they won't blame you, because that's kind of part of what it is. They just want to see how well you do overall, and they know that obviously it's inevitable that you're gonna have one station that you'll feel like you didn't do well in. So just important, get past it, next one. This one I think is really important. It's just trying to be yourself. They really want to see that. They don't want like just a copy and paste student, and they just want to accept basically the same student in every. They want people with personality. They want people that can show them who they actually are, give them their own opinions on topics, and just try your best to show who you are as a person, because they definitely want those kinds of candidates.
The things that will make you stand out is just being yourself, having your own sort of personality. I remember being able to talk about music in my interviews, and talking about how I've used that to kind of like interact and help people, and how that's helped me in terms of developing my confidence. And just saying stuff like that is just different from whatever anyone else would say. I think
they definitely don't want to see a boring student. You know, it's very easy to just be like, you know, I've done X, Y, and Z.
X, Y, Z.
I look exactly
the
like
statement of fact.
This person here. Also, everyone's gonna be dressed well.
Yeah.
So you need something to make you stand out, and I think it's your character. If you let that come out, so important. And I think that relates to all our other points. If you've practiced, if you're confident, and it'll just come out genuinely. And don't be afraid to let that come out, because that's definitely something they want to see. Don't be obnoxious though. There's there's a good balance between being like too out there
and then too obnoxious.
But just definitely just try and show your personality, and they'll appreciate that, and it'll make them remember you. Which is really important.
Just letting your character shine, I guess.
Just let it come out. Don't be afraid to make a joke. If there's obviously the conversation's going somewhere, and you know, you feel like you could make a joke at that point, don't feel like you need to hold back or anything like that. It's fine just to be yourself and just let it out, and they'll appreciate that. You know, they're probably doing this all day.
Trust me, they're there all day, and like it's literally the same question, especially with MMI. So they get one question and they ask loads of students, like 300 students, one question.
So you want to stand out as much as you can. So
I mean, if you don't say a rude joke though, if you're gonna say a joke, there's a balance. There's a balance. You have to be smart about these things. Start swearing and stuff.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
That's not gonna go down well. So point 6 is using personal examples to speak about anything. This is really important because it helped me talk about myself in a way that isn't kind of obnoxious, because you're talking about your experience and how you're part of that experience. And interviewers love stories more than like you just stating facts about yourself, because if you can follow a story, they can really connect with it, compared to if you're just saying I did this, I did that, I did that.
It also shows that you've learned something from it.
Yeah.
If you say you've done something, let's say like a work experience, and you've seen something that changed you in some sort of way that tried to make you a better person, for example. If you say it in that kind of way, it just shows that you've done the experience, you've managed to reflect on it, and bring out something positive from that experience that you've learned from, and now you can bring it on into, and showing that kind of connection and the reflection, they just love to see that. So it's definitely important for you to do that if you have some stuff that you can relate on. And
that reflection is important as well, because we still do that now. Like now we're in third year, we're in third year of medical school, and we have these forms we have to fill. Our portfolio forms, and
it's never ending.
Reflections. Literally, you have to reflect on all your experiences, and if you're able to talk about your personal experiences, reflect on it and how that's impacted you and how you can link that to becoming a good medical student, then that
they'll love it. They'll absolutely love it,
because that's what they want.
They still do that once you get into medical school
until you finish 5th year, until you start working even.
Even when you're working. All the doctors still do it, and so reflection's a really big part of it. So just remember, the experiences are an extremely valuable resource that you guys should use to your advantage.
Definitely.
So this is one that I was doing an open day in Manchester, and we were with some of the admissions team, and something they said to us, which all students I think understand, is that they make it stressful on purpose. This is like something that they use. It's like a tool that they use to see how you react under stress. And that's very important for the medical school to see, because they need students that they know when it comes into a stressful environment, they can handle it well, and they can still continue to perform well. So just know that they do that on purpose, and it's not just you who's feeling stressed. Like every single student going in is extremely stressed and worried. So don't worry, that's one of the goals that they try and do. And
if you get in and you start feeling stressed, don't worry about it. I would say don't stress about it, but that's impossible. But
it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's normal for you to feel stressed, and just like Will said, just being able to deal with it, manage it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and the way you manage it is hopefully you shouldn't. You shouldn't break down and start crying and pee yourself, and just try and keep it together. just try and keep it together, and it's normal, and that they're doing it on purpose, and just try and get through it. And they'll see that that's really good. That's something that they love to see, is that a student is obviously stressed, obviously sweating, but is still trying to push through it, still trying to get to the end, and they'll remember that.
I remember I was so stressed, like I was sweating. I was sweating through my blazer.
Buckets, just like all
through my blazer.
Took it off just down the back.
That is so nasty. Okay.
Maybe take some deodorant with you before you go and just try and smell good.
Okay. Okay. Bonus point. Everyone's gonna talk about it.
So this one is related to the point about keeping up to date with everything, and this one is really important. So if you got to the end of the video, you're lucky, because this one is this one's a top secret one. Especially in Manchester, I'd say, but a lot of other schools. Tomorrow's Doctors by the GMC. Man, tell them what that is.
You just have to read it. Because they're gonna ask you a question. They just ask questions based on it, basically. So if you come to, I don't know, Manchester for example, they'll ask questions based on, I don't know, GMC kind of stuff, and you want to just be knowledgeable about stuff like that. If you can read the GMC guidelines, I know it's a long
one,
but
you just need to try and be aware of Tomorrow's Doctors, and it's not that long of a read, it's not that big of a guidance, but it's very important that you do that, because it just shows to the medical school that you've taken time out to try and understand what the values are, because these are values that they still teach us now, and it's something that you're going to take on from into your clinical years, and they want to see all students practicing these values. So it's really important that you read that, be aware of it, so if they ask you on it, Sam got asked, I got asked, you're probably gonna get asked on it. It's really important that you give it a read.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I can say any more than that. Just
read it. Definitely read it. Yeah, and where can they get it? I think it's online.
Link in the description.
Okay, we'll put a link in. It's definitely online, but you can also get a hard copy from somewhere. But if you go on the GMC website, they'll probably explain how to do that.
Yeah, so guys, thank you for watching. Also thank you to Ro for coming to this channel, helping us out with this video.
Of course, man, anytime.
Where can we find more of you, Ro?
Just hit me up on Instagram. Yeah. If you want. The description.
I told you to start a YouTube channel. Just start a YouTube channel.
Maybe I'll have to think about that one, but yeah, maybe. But I hope that was all useful for you guys, and of course, best of luck with all the interviews. We're rooting for you guys. Me and Sam, we're gonna have you in our prayers, and you guys are definitely gonna be on your way to getting in, and with these tips and it's just like your one-way ticket to getting into medical school. Make sure to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, give us a like.
Hey, what's the other one?
Like, and leave a comment. Alright, peace and love. See you guys.
Thank you guys. Bye.